Greetings and welcome to my dear Aquarians out there. This is Ron from tarotofthetwinsun. I am welcoming you to the channel. I'm working here on the YouTube platform to bring a look into the month of April 2025. And we shall be looking into the quantum triangle using quantum technology to sustain fields of possibilities, past, present, and future, two overlaying triangles, 6 cards that should produce a narrative of ascension for the month. So how to rise up in the present moment had to do with the past and future in two sustained fields, and there's a rectification that occurs there that allows for a pathway of ascension. Okay, so this is generally speaking for the seekers out there that would like guidance in terms of spiritual modality. We'll go ahead and get started. This is for the month of April 2025 for the energy of Aquarius. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started here. We have the first triangle, the Queen of Pentacles. We also have the Eight of Cups in the reverse in the past position. In the future position, we have the Queen of Rods. We also have in the top position, second overlay, the second triangle, the Four of Cups in the upright. We also have in the past position, Three of Swords in the reverse. And we have the Wheel of Fortune as the major arcana in the future position. Two sustained fields, 1 and 2 of time and space. The mode of ascension is right here. We have the future position, past position, and the challenge card. Okay, challenge card is showing up as the Nine of Rods. Now, when the Nine of Rods shows up, it's a particular card. Basically, Jupiter's blessing is being blocked. It's important to maintain the influence of Saturn and also Aries, so it's Mars. Saturn and Mars are big in this month. They're stepping stones for the energy of Aquarius somehow. And that means that there is a possibility of, let's see, it's like 10 and 11. There's a possibility of working in a way that is altruistic. Working and not fighting the gift that's supposed to be coming to you. Trying to find a way to break down resistance, okay, and find a way to also 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to and then 7 to break down resistance and find a way to garner the skills to work with others in a positive way. The more you lose your sense of ego, or at least let it fall away, dealing with anything that has to do with the past, growing from that, there is a chance to work with others and to produce kind of like a way of working together with other people and coming up with a way to reduce blocks in getting your gifts, okay? So it's kind of like something is trying to manifest through this month. There may be fear or resistance against this natural blessing, and it's kind of a stepping stone. So as soon as you open up, and you may not know what's coming to you, the gift comes, okay? And it's a sense of empowerment. There's like this solar energy that uses Mars and Saturn to benefit some sort of service, okay? Some sort of work for others, cooperation and skills that that help to remove obstacles for others. The mode of ascension here is the Queen of Pentacles, okay? That's Taurian energy plus the Four of Cups. And when these cards show up in a spread in terms of ascension, there's a way to birth a new idea, birth a way of manifesting reality, okay? The trick to manifestation is that if you overexert your influence in order to affect the flow of things, the manifestation mode of the universe, like so many people in the spiritual community are attracting or trying to manifest something, usually wealth, a Bentley, a Rolex, diamond ring, whatever, a marriage. Anything that you actually exert in terms of that is going to have a karmic return. So that's the trick. If you're willing to pay it forward in the future, you're going to have to pay that ticket, whether it's in this lifetime or the next. You're going to have to pay the ticket. So this idea of receiving gifts as opposed to trying to, prey on what you think you need, is the best pathway. And there's something about an idea that comes to you. Your mode of ascension has to do with this. You're going to resist it big time this month. You're going to go into ways to conceive something, okay? Whether it's an idea about like work, an idea about how to deal or manage your time. You're in a reception mode. And there is something of a download or an idea that will come to you this month. It's a gift. And you might think it's yours when it happens. But this birthing is like basically a port where you can stop by and sort of do your due diligence, do trade or whatever. It's like a ship that goes and then they have a berth, they stop at a port, and then they go on to the next location, onto some sort of, journey to the next destination. You're kind of there, and there's something on that allows for a process of realization as opposed to a process of manifestation. So I'll say it again, it's a process of realization, okay? That is like having the insight, having the download, and receiving it consciously, as opposed to using the subconscious to manifest something, okay? So it's more of a receptive mode here, your mode of ascension's there. It's advised to practice forms of sadhana, service, meditation, yoga, even prayer. But the mode of prayer would have to be in reception mode. You have to try to hear or see the message, okay? So clairvoyance is very much indicated in the mode of ascension. Clairvoyance. So it's the ability to envision something, like the Queen, envision something in your hand. And it doesn't have to be like material. It can be something that's like the container, or the idea comes from above. It comes from above. All right. Past position, we have the Three of Swords in the reverse. There's a healing journey. There's a return to old things that have been left behind, old emotions that you have let go of, hidden emotions. There's a very subconscious healing energy here in the past. That means you've had to go in and reprogram your connection to feelings. in the past, and also there's a process of healing in that. That's a very positive process. A lot of people in the month of March, especially with the eclipse, have gone through a lot of purgation, a lot of purgation. Like for example, I'm staying at a house, and in the house, a rescue cat was taken from the street. It's a Persian cat. It's beautiful, and its name is Tuti. And Tuti came. He's a beautiful cat, but he was abused and thrown out into the street. And not only that, he was thrown off of a very high rise, and his teeth, the roof of his mouth has like a cleft, like it's damaged. So that's Tuti's story. But he is purging. He has been purging since the full moon, and just before then, in the month of March. So it's a very powerful time for March. This is indicating a March here in the past energy of Aquarius. You return to something that you left behind and you heal through that. The future position, we have here the Queen of Rods. So the Queen changes from earth to fire. So it's a transmutation energy. Okay, this is from Taurus to Leo. The lesson there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's Leo. No, we're going up to 5, so 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 4. There's something about this month in particular where the energy of birthing switches to the energy of manifestation a bit later, and it's that like sort of midpoint between manifesting something through the subconscious, through bringing the subconscious to the conscious. That's manifesting, to this idea of birthing. They combine together. The idea of like getting a download as opposed to trying to make something happen. They merge together, and then they reach a harmonious point. When fire hits earth, it becomes kind of glassy. It crystallizes. It crystallizes the earth. It purifies the earth to sort of to shed light, if that makes any sense. That's the alchemy process. And there's a lot of feminine energy this year. In particular, it's the yin year. In Chinese astrology. Plus, we have here the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, there's something about a cycle, about a return. There's something about a way of karma to come in, and it could be that you're dealing with either a closure or a beginning. There certainly is a rise of status, or whatever is not. With the people around you, on whatever is not owned, they become brought down a little bit. So it's like a kind of equalizing energy with the Wheel of Fortune. There is a chance to see things clearer. There's a chance to rise up and take power if you wanted it, or just by standing your ground, people will naturally equalize to your level. Okay, so it's one or both are the same. When the wheel shows up, it reminds me of shedding. So like the potter's wheel, for example, it sheds material from the center point, from the centripetal axis. The material falls off when the wheel spins. So you can sculpt essentially a lens at this time. That's fire and earth together creates glass. You can sculpt a lens at this time that will help you to receive light, but also to sort of to make the connection with the past. So it's a pretty esoteric reading. I see that there are many gifts coming to Aquarius this month, and this is the modality of the quantum field, using the astrological sciences for this month to see what's going on. And ascension is very clear here. Hopefully that helps. Wishing you well. All right, bye-bye. Greetings and welcome to the energy of Pisces. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I am working here on the YouTube platform to bring forward a look into the future in the month of March for the energy of Pisces. excuse me, not March, but April. So this is an April reading, clearly an April reading for the year 2025. We're going to go ahead and look into a sustained field, two sustained fields of resonance, past, present, and future, two past, presents, and futures. That makes one, 2 times 3 cards. That's 6 cards total. And we'll be using a method known as rectification to see a sort of resonant capacity for the month of April for the energy of Pisces. We're looking at a mode of ascension. So this is a spiritual reading. You've come to the right place if you're looking for that. We'll be taking that and seeing sort of like a narrative of possibility. And we're going to be using this to help elevate the energy of Pisces. So yes, please take only what you will. I'll go ahead and get started. There's the first field of resonance. We have Tower card, as well Page of Cups in the reverse. This is the ascension point. This is present moment ascension. This is the past Page of Cups. We also have the 8 of Swords in the future position, second triangle, second reality, let's call it, or second field. We have the Empress. Okay. Empress is the mode of ascension, 2 major arcana already in the mode of ascension. This is a huge month. We also have the 5 of Swords in the reverse, in the past position. Future position, we have Devil cards, 3rd major arcana, Devil card. So yeah, once again, mode of ascension, Tower card, Empress. Past, we have the Page of Cups as well as the 5 of Swords. Future position, we have the 8 of Swords plus the card of Capricorn, card of Saturn, that is the Devil card. So we have in terms of the bridge or the crossing, the block, the release, it's the 5 of Cups. Okay, now with this stepping stone, the 5 of Cups is an interesting card. So what's going on in terms of challenges, in terms of relating to those challenges and releasing those challenges, those blocks, as a stepping stone is the 5 of Cups. That 5 of Cups is usually, it's kind of like a mired card. It has to do with emotions, but not entirely emotions that are your own. So it's kind of like a veil. A veil is here, and it's difficult to find like a sense of clarity with what really matters, what is truly authentic. And there's a tendency towards regret, there's a tendency towards dark night, there's a tendency to sort of, be set down or be like sort of bipolar with emotions. It's very moody, this card. So moods are colorations of our own emotional palette. There's a chance that moods will color your experience this month, and it's important to focus on what is authentic, what is authentically still there. The idea of love, true love, is still there. Okay, for example, mode of ascension. Firstly, we have Tower card as well. It's overlaid with the Empress card. Now, when these two energies relate, it stimulates the 10th house, kind of the 11th, plus the energy of Taurus, which is the 2nd or the 7th. It's also a Venusian card. Could be also Libraic. But I'm going to read in terms of the triplicity of Earth. It would be Saturn, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. There's something about a mode of purification here. It comes through the energy of the sun. And basically, what has happened in terms of a triggering of last month's eclipse. It was a lunar eclipse. The sun was, I believe, in Pisces, or the axis was Virgo and Pisces. Okay, if that axis is stimulated, and then the solar energy sort of breaks down anything that was built at this time through the Tower card, there is a chance that the divine feminine, okay, or the 2nd house, the energy of Taurus, is coming in to provide a new foundation. And this is one based on receiving. This is one based on elegance. This is one based on sophistication. The way to calmly respond as opposed to react is very much indicated here. So whether or not things aren't though if it's possible that things are not going so well for you, if things are taken away from you, it's being done so for a reason, to rework your ground and to be stabilized in that, to sort of give birth to a new reality, to eat better, to treat yourself better, to invest in things that matter, things that are fundamental, things that trigger your baseline. Okay, and this is a month for baselines. Being able to ground is very much indicated in the pathway of ascension, so that's a good energy, and it's going to help you rise up. Once you ground, then you can rise. Okay, so a lot of it has to do with footing and placements. You kind of have to, if you're going to step over a river or like a water obstruction, you have to find the stepping stones. You can't just jump in if the river's too crazy. You have to find the way to safely cross it, to safely ford it. Okay, so a lot of what this month is about is being able to afford the idea of practicality, the idea of a grounded and slow way to recover. Okay, to recover, to restabilize. There's a lot of that type of energy showing through here. That's the pathway of ascension. And the foundation is like not letting your moods or your reactions, not letting them sort of dominate your responsibilities. Okay, that's responsiveness and responsibilities. Past position, we have Page of Cups, we have Five of Swords combined. And when these two energies combine, Neptune, Jupiter are big in it. They're big in it, but they're hidden. They're veiled. Neptune and Jupiter are veiled in the past position. So there's something about being able to feel like you're giving enough, to feel like you're being authentic enough in situations where you're being the remedy. I think you've been giving off to the wrong people, or like it hasn't been enough for them. But that very gesture of at least trying has been enough for a lot of people, and that in effect is medicine for anything that's been conflictual, or if you've been dealing with egos or ego battles, power struggles with others. You basically have been a healing agent for that. You haven't been overly taxed, but there most certainly is like a type of, I would say, kind of like an apology system, or a way of like really giving off a little bit of yourself to be medicine for relationships around you in the past position. We also have in the future position, within the quantum field, within the quantum triangle, the Eight of Swords plus the Devil card. And neither of these cards are in the reverse or in the upright. There's something about breaking free while still being tethered to a place or a circumstance. It's like if you feel like you're there, you're actually constantly, I would say, projecting outward, breaking free. This idea of like being stuck somewhere and breaking free is very clear in the future. Clear in the fact that like it's a state of mind. Whatever karma or whatever path that you happen to be in and you feel constrained by, it actually reinforces a discipline. And in that discipline, you can also think outside of the box. So if it's like a relationship, if it's like a place of work, and you feel like it has a bind on you, there is a way to at least psychologically not be affected by that. You can be empowered by structure or discipline and hard work, and the idea of hard work. So there's sort of like a very strong rajastic or arthic quality to ground yourself in the idea that you can master something, a skill, or like master a way of projecting outward, thinking outside of the box when it comes to your place of work or a significant relationship of some sort, whether it's a marriage or like a partnership. There's a possibility to essentially break free from that in the future. Okay, So, generally speaking, this is a positive reading for the energy of Pisces. I do thank you for tuning in. If you want to see more, you can always contact me. Otherwise, wishing you well. Take care. Greetings and welcome to my dear Aries out there. This is Ron from tarotofthetwinsun. I am working here through the YouTube platform to do a look into the month of April 2025 for the energy of Aries. So the first house is open. Mars comes and helps us guide through the actions of its will to guide us into a look into the future for the month of April 2025 for the energy of Aries. We'll go ahead and get started now. So we have a quantum triangle reading for this month. This is a mode of ascension here. It's a spiritual reading for the energy of Aries. Quantum triangle is basically past, future, present, and then a mode of ascension. It's 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, two triangles overlaying each other, and then there's a rectification. Basically, it allows for us to get a message through two different realities, two different states of time and space. Okay. So what we have in the ascendant position is the Hierophant here, past as well the Five of Pentacles. Future position is the Magician. Second triangle, second state, we have the Four of Rods as well, the Fool card in the past position. Future position, Six of Rods. So now we start with the Ascension modality. When it comes to this reading and the month of April 2025 for the energy of Aries, there's a second house activation. So that's 5, 6, 5, no, 1, 2. It's 1, 2, 1, 2 plus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. It's 12. There's a strong way of producing and manifesting a reality. The path to ascension for this month is by sublimating as above, so below. Being able to bring down and make the connection between the material realm and the spiritual realm. And what the Hierophant is pointing to basically is the Four of Rods. Now, this Four of Rods is neither reverse or in the upright. But the Four of Rods is usually the card of manifestation. So it leads to happiness. It also can break a connection. You're going to learn, especially through the 4 weeks, especially in the middle of the 4 weeks of April, a way to really invest in a change of sorts. It's an exchange between at least 2 or 3 other people. There's an exchange that you do in order to bring forward a type of investment. So it's like if you're investing in, let's say, this is just an example, if you're investing into stocks or cryptocurrency, or you're investing into a type of work that has to do with the manifestation of money, there's something about the exchange of money between different people that you either give services to or you receive from that allows for a sublimation. Sublimation of what? A sublimation of material things like money into a spiritual energy. So the more you transact with others this month and stimulate the second house, the more you invest in, say, clothing, or into like a type of work, a type of skill set, and then activate a way to have money flow to or away from you. basically that exchange is going to bring forward a spiritual effect, okay? And that allows for a number of things, but really to make the connection to the divine through the material realm, okay? So treating food, treating clothing, treating material goods, treating money, treating your time, your energy like it is kind of a sacrifice in a way. It allows for a number of things, and primarily it's like good health and also attracting spiritual wealth into your life. That's the ascension point. The past position, we have Five of Pentacles. We also have the Fool card. There's something about like an investment that you made in to last month especially, and you may have come out of that with someone to work with, someone special to work with, but then that connection isn't exactly what you expect. It's like kind of like a leap of faith, and that allows for a number of things to manifest, but then it changes. So if you were dealing with someone in the past, let's say, okay, that is a special connection, but it's not working out, then you would sublimate it, okay, especially the way you handled the time between you two, and then there's another sort of chapter, and it either raises a platform or it takes it away. And in that process, there's the Hierophant is there. So all of this is happening for a reason. Whatever is occurring between you and another person may shift. Roles can change, or you can shift altogether into attention to another person or another group of people. So I see here fundamental change, transformation. It leads to the Magician's energy, okay? So that's from the first house to the third house. 1, 2, 3. It's about 3 houses away, and that basically, the Magician is very powerful because after you make the investment, then you have the energy, okay, that is given through the Hierophant's hands, through his promise to, like, purify material gains or material things that come into you, sublimate it so that it has a spiritual resonance, okay? There's an ability for you to take that energy and that force, that love, let's say, and bring it more to the light. The six of rods is definitely a solar card, and that allows for a number of things. You can do things independently. You can manifest futures. There's a major arcana in each of these. It moves from the first house to the third from the second. So it's 1, 2, 3, very linear. 1, 2, 3. There's 1, 2, 3. That's houses of the self, an activation of a new thing after the realm of Pisces. So this is a very positive reading in terms of this month. The 6 plus the 4 can make the 10 of rods, which is kind of the difficult card, because you're going to be carrying a lot of essence. There's something that led you to this point, and even though in this month and the coming weeks it's going to feel heavy, you have to realize that the table that you built, the altar in which you sacrifice, is also going to help you to become independent, to not be so reliant on old timelines, and this is generally speaking a very positive thing. So this is your reading for Ascension. We have also a bridge card. Ace of Cups does show up here. There's something like a gift in all of this. If you can invest more into a type of self-love, trust in yourself, and move forward through the first, second, and third houses, you will be able to raise the cup, as the Magician does here. Raises the cup and offers it on the table of sacrifice, the altar, okay? So yeah, it's a pretty straightforward, clear reading. I hope that helps in terms of this month. I do wish you well, my dear Aries out there. Take care now. Bye-bye. Greetings and welcome to my dear Taurians out there. This is Ron from Tarotofthetwinsun. The second house is open. Venus comes and guides us in this this flow of information through the quantum field. We're going to be doing the quantum triangle, this reading for the month of April for the energy of Taurus. Welcome, Taurians. So you can take any solar, lunar, Martian, ascendant placement in the energy of Taurus, and you can read this for that. Basically, it's a pathway of ascension. We'll track houses through the cards, and also there's going to be like 3 cards, 1 triangle, second triangle, 3 cards, 6 cards total. And the triangles represent 2 different states or fields of resonance. They combine together to show a pathway of ascension. Okay, so this is the quantum technique. We'll go ahead and get started now. We have 10 of Rods, pathway of ascension, past position. We have six of Pentacles here. We have also the card of Justice in the major arcana. That's a future position. We have also the Queen of Swords, 2 of Cups in the reverse in the past, and the Ace of Rods. Okay, generally speaking, this is a positive reading so far. There's something about a change or a shift that happened in March. This is for the energy of Taurus, of course, and Taurus is an earth sign. So with the 6 of Pentacles, it's like an exchange, and you shift from one to another. If something was too toxic, you release that, you shift to another. I mean, what else can you do? Especially if you're in a place of work or in a relationship and the situation is broken or lost. You have to shift your energy, Mercury is very strong in the past position. That means Mercury retrograde was very effective in the last month to get you to where you are now. And when Mercury goes retrograde, it's an apparent shift in energy, which happened in, I believe, the middle of March sometime, maybe the second week of March, and maybe even the first week of March. Anyways, Mercury retrograde basically is the illusion that Mercury is oscillating in a certain way. That, of course, is illusory, and it's just an optical effect in terms of our own place on this earth and witnessing Mercury go and wobble. This wobbling creates like an unsteady mind, and it affects our electronic systems, all of that. It's very clear to me that some media forms were too toxic for you, let's say, and then also the metaphysical media forms or the metaphysical algorithms have been working to shift and to like sort of reframe synapses, to rearrange or to sort of reflow synapse currents in your brain. So it's kind of like a chemical shift. When Mercury is like this, it also is like the right brain and left brain switches over. So it could be that you've had to make a logical decision. You're supposed to trust your intuition and sort of go and do your thing. It's either you're going to release a connection from the past, this is your mode of ascension, that's too heavy, or you're going to carry that weight and move forward. Trust your intuition. There's something about the plexus that is very strong right now for this month, and you're going to be able to sort of know what is going to happen. And if that involves a lot of work or being rid of a lot of work, making a choice so that you gain your gift, that you gain your power. These are some of the things that I see in terms of the ascension point. And the Ace of Swords that is in the Queen's hand, so Queen of Swords is very auspicious. It's tied to the lineage of Michael, Saint Michael, and the Archangel Michael, who holds the sword, basically is able to help you to remove timelines, for example. And it could be a guide for a lot of Utaurians out there, at least for this month. So there's a way to speak your voice, to trust your intuition. If you feel fear this month, it's just fear of it being too heavy, and everything has a breaking point. There's always a limitation to how far your power source can be drained. And once that happens, you can always release. You can always hit that purge button. If you haven't done so last month, it's important to do so in April. Now, we have also here in the pathway of ascension a stepping stone, and it's the 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups is interesting. So like you have to trust kind of your intuition. If it feels like fear, then it's not a good vibration to carry through a certain timeline, to take your time with it. And you shouldn't be carrying or absorbing that fear. There's always a sort of 2 of Cups kind of energy in the past, okay? And because it's in the past here, the past position tied with Mercury, there is a chance to remove an old timeline and also to go through a grief process if you've done that. The grief process doesn't take that long, and it's your stepping stone. Like I said, it allows you to sort of raise your vibration and go from there. Now, we also have here the only major arcana, Justice card, showing up. There's a major transformation. There's a chance to start again, something new, to be recharged completely. Know when it is and what it is you need to cut out of your timelines. Try to bring the subconscious into the conscious realm, so that your programming in the subconscious becomes clear and it weaves for you the right flow, the right tapestry of life, so that you can deal with others in your truth and also balance out karmic accounts so that you don't have to deal with it again. There's major transformation energy here. Venus and Mars are strongly activated, and Venus is one of your rulers. So if you need to, the trick there, by the way, is to look to the second house, the opposite. It's the 8. So there's something here about, I would say, addictions, toxicity, um, and like possessive tendencies, maybe even jealousy, that kind of get in the way. You're supposed to be able to use the sword of truth to cut that out. The process is about, with 2 swords here, it's about 2 weeks into April. You're going to be able to basically weigh things up, as justice does, weigh things up, and then sort of purify what needs to be recalibrated, rebalanced in terms of your own emotional sort of energy. Any emotional blocks that are stored up in the plexus, it's going to be purified by the 2nd week. That's what I see with it. Yeah, so it's a pretty clear reading. Hopefully that helps in terms of guidance for some, if not all of you. Wishing you all the best, and thanks for your continued support of the channel. Do take care now. Thank you. Bye-bye. Greetings and welcome to my dear Geminis out there. This is Ron from tarotofthetwinsun. I am working here through the YouTube application and the platform of YouTube to bring forward a look into the future using the quantum realm. So I will be using the quantum triangle. It's a technique that has been discovered by the Order of the Twin Sun to see, using 2 sustained fields of resonance, past, present, and future, 2 triangles, past, present, and future, they overlay, and then they create a rectification. We can see through the quantum field a pathway of ascension for the energy of Gemini. The 3rd house is open. Mercury is here to guide us and deliver the clearest and most, let's say, mastered or skilled approach to ascension for this month. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started now. We have here in the top position the 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles, and that's a mode of ascension, present moment. We have the past moments with the 3 of Swords in the reverse. We have also the King of Swords in the future position. So there's 1 triangle, past, present, future. We also have here in the present moment, for another time and space, we have the 10 of Cups in the reverse. We also have the 9 of Rods, and we also have in the future position the Page of Pentacles. This is past position, future, present, mode of ascension, and the stepping stone is the Queen of Cups. Okay, so this is an interesting reading so far. If you were to take this card in particular, Queen of Cups, it's one of purging, it's one of intuition, grace. It's tied to the triplicity of water, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And this has to do with being able to hold space, excuse me, to hold space and to let messages flow through that space, okay? This has to do with fertility also, being able to hold something, to receive something, are very strong. Now, we have here in the mode of ascension, 10 of Cups, combined with the 4 of Pentacles. When these 2 combine, and then there's a rectification of it, a distortion, a coloration, what shows in the mode of ascension is the ability to be stable by releasing something. Okay, 10 of Cups means that there's, generally speaking, around you, in the present moment, whenever you either see yourself in the month of April, there's going to be this like this feeling that you're secure for one thing, and that the world around you is falling apart, or that you may notice that there's a strong connection where people are doing things to disconnect from each other, but you're going to be the stable one. You're protected from that type of energy. If people decide to, let's say, peace out from you, and they're avoidant, or they're running away, whatever. That's their own cup of tea. And a lot of people are going to be dealing with their own family karmas and curses and like bloodline, sort of blocks. Shadow work. There's a lot of shadow work outside of your home, outside of the place where you feel the most safe. Okay, it's like you're inside of a temple or an ashram, and then the world around you is going insane or mad. And that's the thing. That's what is here. If you were to go to a place of sanctuary, you would be protected from what is going on outside. And I'm telling you, it's a big purge. It has been starting in the holy month of Ramadan, on the new moon of last month, on March 1st. So that was pretty intense. Well, like late February, March 1st. So that was pretty intense. And then the full moon also triggered a lunar eclipse, which is also big. There's a lot of purging going on around you. Now, it's also possible that some of you have gone through a major shift in terms of getting out of a situation that was very toxic, for example. That allows you to rise up. And the difference is the 9 in the reverse. You get to see clearly. You get to choose something, even though every choice when it comes to let's say love, or the old paradigm of love through romance, any choice like that you felt like you had to go through with, now it's just given, and you go through the process. You go through the process of why it was given, and you find a stable energy, a foundation for yourself. That's a very positive sort of outcome for that. Now, we also have in the past position 3 of swords in the reverse. There's a healing modality that happened in March, also the 9 of rods, also another healing card. Major healing is indicated in the past position. This has to do with dealing with other people, a person letting down their blocks, and then, yeah, generally speaking, it's like kind of like an open energy in the past, and it allows for a process of healing, putting light on wounds, letting like the skin on that wound regenerate through like having a solar energy tied to it. So that's very remedial, and that's good. I think there's more of a foundation in the present moment. That's good. It's stabilized. At the same time, in the future position, we have the King of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Now, when the King looks at the Page, basically truth and communication will cut through any promises or any commitments that are not mastered, that are not like developed. So like low offers will be ignored. Low balling, you have to go kind of big in order to do something proper in the future. Always speak the truth, right? For example, with the King of Swords, speaking the truth, having a clear mind, you'll know why playing it small is not it's not the best thing to do, but then it's practical. The thing is it doesn't get you to the place that you would want to go, especially if you're trying to manifest a job or something like that, or manifest a way to have money flow in for you, or a way for you to have more time. The abundance of all that is done by speaking your truth and not playing it small. But if you're going to play it small, it will lead to the sense of like some stability, but it won't be truly what it is you need. And you need to be very cognizant about the way you work with manifestation algorithms. Okay, like if you align yourself with a way of thinking about manifestation where you receive more in terms of ideas that come into reality, you don't have to push your karma. You don't have to push your karma as much, and karma always comes back. So if you're actually trying to manifest, let's say, more money, and you're not clear about how you'll do that, like if it's going to be good money or bad money, or like money that's like riddled with algorithms, like you have to be sort of cognizant of what you will allow into your life. So that's just one message I had to give y'all. All right, well, that's this month for the quantum reading. I think it's, generally speaking, a very positive month. You're going to feel very stable. You're going to be conservative with the way you deal with things. There's going to be a lot of purging that happens. And I think you're going to find a presence of mind, a clarity, a way to approach things logically, and also to take that first step and make some sort of offering to the universe. Hopefully that helps. If you want any more in terms of clarification, you can contact me to get a private reading. Otherwise, take care. Bye-bye. Greetings and welcome to my dear Cancers out there. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I am working here on the YouTube platform to bring forward a look into the month of April 2025 for the energy of Cancer. So this is a lunar reading. We ask for the moon to come and empower the fourth house, give us an insight and a look into the quantum realm through a 6-card spread known as the quantum triangle. So there are 3 cards over 3 cards, 2 triangles. 1 and 2, they overlap and then create a field of rectification wherein we can see a mode of ascension for the energy of Cancer. So yes, Cancer, welcome. I do thank you for tuning in. This can be read from solar, lunar, Martian, any placement of any planet in the energy of Cancer. So mostly you're all going to be solar Cancers, because a lot of you follow probably Western astrology and also Cancer ascendants. We'll go ahead and get started now. Let's see here, 1 and 5, 1 and 4. Okay, so yeah, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it's clean enough. All right, we're gonna get started. Top mode of ascension, present moment, we have the 6 of rods. Past position, we have the 5 of rods. And future position, we have the 2 of swords. Second triangle, second field is the major arcana, Cancer energy, which is the Chariot. We have also on the past position 4 of rods. We have in the future position 10 of cups. All right, good. One more card for the bridge. The Queen of Pentacles underlying energy is the Ace of Pentacles. All right, good. So there's something here this month that has to do with the mode of ascension. It's tied to the only major arcana that's showing up is the card of Cancer, which is the Chariot. Chariot is about moving forward, having the potential, working with dualities, cutting through, and then not identifying with the dualities. Basically, this is a card of union. It has to do with the first union in the triplicity of water, which is the 4th house. This has to do with temples, churches, vehicles, the vehicle of the spirit. And moving forward, basically, this card is coming up, and the number 7 along with the 6. That's the 6 of rods. So basically, this is like a solar energy from the 4th to the 5th house. 6 of rods is also indicative of sort of breaking free. There's a chance that the mind is split and doing things logically as well as illogically, or logically and then with the realm of abstraction. It's the 6-12 sort of energy, and basically there's a flexibility here of being able to define what you can do freely. The thing is that your mode of ascension is like, yes, there is a calling to be free. At the same time, you have to step back and then see the potential in the implications of what you're doing. It's very much a time to rise up and to be free from the system. That means that if you need to stop your vehicle and go deeply within, check to see what is influencing you. If you are being influenced by a reflex, by seeing and checking the conditions of others to qualify yourself, perhaps it's better to slow down. If you're doing things in the light of what you found in the month of March, to be sort of going through with that and being programmed in a way by something greater, then go with it. There's a solar energy here that pushes forward and purifies anything that has to do with blocks in the fourth house. And the fourth house is the first gateway to moksha. So it's a very powerful indication of sun and moon influencing this energy of April, and basically anything that you've seeded in terms of the lunar eclipse on the 14th of last month is going to come to fruition mid-month sometime, perhaps by the first week. Yeah, so this is pretty positive. Also on the pathway of ascension, we have the Ace of Pentacles that's held by the Queen. There's something about feminine energy that is grounding you. It's important to ground and to also be stabilized on what is practical. So practical movements in terms of finding independence from corrupt systems, from bad relationships, from anything that's holding you back. In terms of your spirit vehicle, it's very important to ground this month. Now in the past position, we have a combination of the 5 and the 4 of rods. This adds up to be basically the 9. There's something about the past where you've had to move and find conflict, and go through the conflict directly. This is basically allowing you to purify. The past energy is about, the difference is the Ace of Rods from 5 to 4, 4 to 5. Basically, it's one rod sequence, and that allows for basically freedom. You can carry this over here to the 7. There's something about you sort of being in between spaces, taking your time when it comes to the narrative of releasing yourself, coming to the path of moksha, coming to the path of liberation. Okay, it's the first step to true yoga. That's fantastic. Now we move over to the near future. There's the 2 of Swords as well as the 10 of Cups. There's something here about another energy that is tied to either a new moon or the time maybe 2 days before after a new moon in the future position. So throughout the month, you're going to come up to a new moon cycle, and it's like the 2 days before, 2 days after, 48 hours before, 48 hours after, that contributes to something like a completion. Basically, you're going to be at a place where you're supposed to be when it comes to relationships, when it comes to family, when it comes to what makes you feel content deeply within. And it overwhelms you with positivity. So it's going to be a very auspicious time around new moon cycles in the future. That's what I'm seeing generally speaking with this reading. It's a pretty straightforward reading. I think you're coming into a really good form. I think you're breaking free from ties, anything that would hold you back karmically. And there's a sense of dharma in it all, a sense of moving forward and then being rewarded around either an eclipse. If they're happening this month, it's an eclipse or a new moon, one or the other. Hopefully that helps. If you want a more private reading, you can get a more specific reading using different tools and modalities. Right now my specialty is numerology, as well as looking into timelines and getting a sense of a mission behind those modalities, including numerology. Yeah, that's what I have to offer. Otherwise, please take care. I'm glad to do tarot with you this month. Take care now. Bye-bye. Greetings and welcome to my dear Leos out there. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Welcome to the channel. I am working here on the YouTube platform to bring forward messages from the Twin Sun. Basically, we're looking through the 5th house, through the auspices of solar energy, solar programming, solar radiation, solar flares, a look into the quantum realm. And we ask for the sun, the karaka of the sun, the functionality of the sun to guide us in terms of looking into the month of April 2025 for the energy of Leo. So solar Leos out there, lunar, Venusian, Martian, any placement in Leo or the ascendant, you can take this reading and take what you will of it to apply to that placement. Mostly solar Leos are going to be showing up here. That's good. If you like the content, please like or subscribe. We'll go ahead and get started with the reading without further ado. Okay, we're ready. So I'll go ahead and get started now. Okay, 1 second. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so this is a 6 card spread known as the quantum triangle. Quantum triangle basically is 3 cards, 1, 2, and 3, and a second triangle overlaying it. 2 triangles, and basically there's the modality of the present, a mode of ascension, future position here, and then past position here. Two states of resonance, 2 fields of possibilities in terms of past, present, future. They overlay and create a rectification. In that we can read from the quantum field. The block card or the stepping stone is the King of Pentacles. We have 2 major arcana. In the future position, it's the Fool. Present position, we have the Lover's card plus the mode of ascension, and in the past position, we have the Six of Swords, the Ace of Swords plus the Eight of Pentacles, future position, Six of Pentacles, present position. So there is a lot going on here. Whoa. Okay. So the Fool card is a big one. There is a chance that in the later weeks of April, that Leo will be dealing with a transformation of past karma. Transformation of past karma. It's like placing a faith in the way, you identify your own actions in the past. So it's interesting. It's like a It's like a validating energy that is retroactive. That's the Fool's energy. There also is the major arcana of the 6th major arcana, which is the Lover's card, and it could be that you're in the midst of something, a choice, but each choice seems to be arbitrary. Seems to have no sort of correlation to what you truly resonate with. Meaning that you could be getting a lot of tension right now. It is advised to switch your efforts, to pay attention to the ones that might not be on your radar, or the ones that might not, that might try to change your mind. It's like you are flexible enough to go and try different things, and this allows you to sort of deal with different versions of yourself. Okay. And each version seems to be outplayed, outdated. There's something about you kind of looking to the future, giving your efforts to wherever it needs, splitting your efforts to wherever it needs, wherever it feels more creative or more logical. You might switch from 2 modalities. Mercury is highly activated this month. That means whatever motion Mercury is going in and whatever placement it's in terms of your houses will be relevant. Okay, so say Mercury is in Virgo this month or something like that. I don't know the actual astrology for this part, but say it is, and it happens to be in your 5th house, then there's a likelihood that that house will be activated, and then these ideas of like having to make a choice, but then not really feeling particularly good or resonant with either one of those choices may be what's going on here. But you have to give your time somewhere. You have to give your efforts somewhere. The thing is that you come loaded this month. You're grounded in your energy. You can idealize things, but then you come loaded with a backup plan. And if that forces you to go inward and not make a choice, that in itself is a choice, and you can actually do that. The thing is that I think that you might let certain timelines go this month, certain ties with other people go. You will still contribute to them, but then it really doesn't matter to you in the end. You will validate this in the future position. There's something like a crisis that happens either the 3rd or 4th week, and you come into a way of getting into a new reality. You work harder on your sort of path, but you still have to make amends, excuse me, with things that you may have left behind in the 1st or 2nd week, or potentially last month. I do see here an escapist mentality and really trying to run away, but then come back to where you've been. And this has to do with communication, written notes, texts, or emails that were sent in the last month or previous or early weeks. of April, and returning to those and sort of like coming to like understand what it truly meant. Those connections. It's very vague, the past, but it's very likely that you found a way to escape troubles, and by speaking your truth, you can stand true to your path. The thing is that you've activated kind of like a number of connections that are blooming for you, especially when it comes to love or relationships, all of this potential like sort of work situations also. But it's like it doesn't interest you. It doesn't interest you. You have a backup plan, or you have hidden resources that you've saved up, and it allows for you to complete these karmas, work hard on yourself, work on something else, something that's new. Okay, it's a very strong likelihood that March was a period where you've had to sort of let go of a lot of different things, and people were projecting onto you, and you gave a little bit of your time here and there. But in the future, you validate this and you place faith in what you've done, and you work hard on something in the later half of April in particular. You work hard on something that is new and original and completely your own, away from anyone. And that's a fantastic energy to end up with. Yeah, that's what I see with this month. Hopefully that helps. If you want to look more into particular questions, I am available for consultation. Just email me. Otherwise, take care. Bye-bye. Greetings and welcome to my dear Virgos out there. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I am working here on the YouTube platform to bring forward sort of look into the month of April 2025, and we're going to be looking into the energy of Virgos. So the sixth house is open. We'll be addressing blocks and releases from these blocks. We're going to be looking a little bit into the psychological motivations behind this Mercury ruled sign, and we're going to be asking Mercury as well as the the line of thought and the wisdom that is there, the technology that is there to help guide us, to use the quantum field also, a technique known as the quantum triangle, which is a spread that has been devised or discovered by the order of the Twin Sun to see basically paths of ascension for the energy of, particularly in this reading, Virgo. So Virgo suns, moons, Martian Virgos, Jupiterian Virgos, all of these Virgos are welcome. Of course, any placement is welcome here, as well as the ascendant, but mostly it's going to be solar Virgos that come to this. So welcome, and we'll go ahead and get started. 6. Okay, there is a path of solitude that leads you to a place of absolute stillness that allows for you to become numb to the process of thinking. It's a place of stillness, and it allows you to process a breakthrough that comes from an invisible hand, an invisible pathway, an invisible footing of some sort. And it's untraceable. This whole path is untraceable. Trust your inner light to guide you to that in which you need, and to aid you on your mission. Now we have here, firstly, the first card, present position, past position. We have the present position star card. We have in the past position the justice card, okay? Plus we have the future position, 6 of cups. That's one past, present, future, ascension. We have in the present, the second field, present moment, the 9 of swords in the reverse. We have in the past here 4 of pentacles in the reverse. We also have the fourth major arcana and that is the Emperor. Emperor in the future position. There are three. Three major arcana. That is the Star, once again, Justice, and the Emperor. Okay, so first house, 7th, and then the 11th. 1, 7, 11. There's something here that I see, at least numerologically, where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's something about a karma that you gain power from in the future. You have done rightly in this place. You broke down someone's walls, and that is not necessarily a bad thing. It's the same thing that happened in Jericho. These walls had to come down in order to allow for the universe to come in, for the light to come in, and that is a revolution, a karmic revolution here, and you gain power from that. You go towards more authenticity. Now, in the present moment, there's a strong indication that those who have feared you no longer do. They follow you in the path of healing, and you are guided towards the infinite. So this is a pretty intense reading so far. It is a month of doing what is right, of letting go what is unnecessary, and people are following you in this path. It inspires them, it allows them to follow you and to break through fear. It also is a way to break through a psychological block. There's a process of release this month that allows you to walk the path and to follow the guidance of the heavens. Okay, so it's a very powerful time for an Aquarian sort of ascension. What else is tied to this ascension? It has to do with the process of grief. Letting go of that grief, letting go of the grief, and also a gift that comes. But as soon as you get this gift, you release it. You're wise enough not to participate in any sort of karmic redundancy. And I think the gift in itself is a gift that can be appreciated, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like sort of consumed, or like it doesn't have to be sort of processed through your karmic line, and it allows you to be free. There's an essence of freedom coming through this reading in terms of your pathway of ascension. Now, there is a karmic injustice in the past. It's like, yes, you did sort of break the walls, but then as soon as that happens, you look to the future and you take your truth with you. You balance something out with someone in the past, and that's a very positive thing. It opens them up, it softens them up, and I don't think you're going to stick around for that, because there's a movement from air to air, from the 7th to the 11th house. It's like one of like an elevation of intellect. You've done the right thing. Now, I think you're going to attract something in terms of an empowering connection. It's deep, and it allows you to sort of really tap into someone who means something to you, and it really allows for a quality of strength and independence, the right way of doing things, the right way of like gaining your power. So authentic connections will come as a result of this. The thing is that I think that you will overstep this connection. You can appreciate it, but then you overstep it, or like you go beyond it. And this allows you to sort of get what you deserve. It's a strange reading, because there's a chance that if your ego, it crops up in the 3rd or 4th week, and then you find this situation, it could go south, and then you trigger this person, and then you help them to sort of learn their lesson. But also there's a possibility of kind of doing that, but then that becoming you, so you have to be careful. Yeah, it is a pretty relevant connection. There's a soul tie in the future you find empowering one way or another. You find it empowering through lessons, okay? Hopefully that helps. That is the reading for this month. I do wish you well, my dear Virgoans out there. Thank you for tuning in. If you need a private reading, I can go very deeply into whatever you desire in terms of Q&A. Using tarot, numerology, pendulum, as well as timeline research, astrology, all of that, I can do it. Don't worry about it. If you need it, just email. Otherwise, continue to like and subscribe, and I'll bring up more content, free content for you guys next month. I do wish you well. Thank you. Bye-bye. Greetings and welcome to my dear Libras out there. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Welcome to the channel. We are working on the platform of YouTube to bring forward a look into the month of April 2025. And this is a powerful month. That's all I can say. We are looking into the quantum field for this month and using a 6-card spread known as the quantum triangle spread, which takes two timelines and then weaves them together to show a rectification, past, present, and future with a mode of ascension. The quantum field allows us to see a mode of ascension, and we're going to be tapping into the energy of Venus. We ask Venus to watch over our reading and to provide us a gateway to the 7th house. Any placement in Libra can be read for this astrological or quasi-astrological tarot reading. This is definitely a forecast for the month of April. And yeah, we'll go ahead and just get started. Thank you for tuning into the channel. It's work. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. And thank you for my fellow Librans out there. Okay, this deck is ready. We'll go ahead and get started now. The ascendant mode, the present moments. We have the first apex of the triangle, the Page of Cups. We have the past position, Empress card, low-key card of Venus, also a hint of Gemini, Empress card. That's seventh house energy plus the 2nd house and possibly the 3rd. We look towards the future. We have the 4 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, that's good. Tower card is the 2nd triangle apex. We have also in the past position 9 of Swords in the reverse. We have in the future position 5 of Pentacles. Okay, interesting month. So there is a Tower energy, and Tower is usually indicative of transformation. It has to do with the fall of Babel. The disintegration of language, communication, finding foundation is the key here with this reading. So there is a major shift. It's asking you to hold your resources. Page of Cups. Page of Cups usually is a very meditative card, at least in terms of this. That means there is a sense of apprehension, trying to sense. Apprehension is usually a sensibility. It's linked to fear, but it's also intuition. So apprehension is also the ability to grasp something, to apprehend something. And yes, I see it primarily as a way to restructure emotional content. Could be that in the month of April, there's something like solar energy that comes in through the Tower card, and it brings a situation to a halt. It brings things to a halt. It allows for a recalibration with this Tower card. There also is the energy of the twin sun, which is basically the occulted sun. The sun's ecliptic, and that is a magnanimous force. It's like sunrise versus sunset, the occultation of the sun, the hidden sun. And with this, there is a chance to sort of come to a 0 point. There's a zeroing energy. It's best not to overinvest or overreach when it comes to significant connections, however significant they may be. It is the time to meditate, and that is the mode of ascension. So Uranus as well as Aquarius energy, Saturn's energy are heavily active in this month. It's important to align yourself with the right way of doing things and to align your head state. And that if you need to go through introspection, it is a time to do that. If you need to find a new ground, it is a time to do that. So it's like a shifting energy. You can root yourself into somewhere else, transplant your energy, transplant your yourself into another time and dimension. We have also the major arcana showing up in the past position, Empress card, and the card of the Nine of Swords. Last month and the first week of April will be very significant in formulating a sense of stability, um, fertility, and that's a good thing. Um, it's like you hold your power, you hold your composition, you hold your resources, and it gives you a sense of elegance. So it's a very auspicious card of fertility. It's a process of breaking fear. You've gone through that, okay? And then Venus blesses you. The sun, it combusts you, combusts your energy. It asks you not to grow too much. So even though you're fertile, you're supposed to remember your foundation. If the foundation isn't good, you have to transplant once again. So there's this overarching sense of movement this month. Last month, not so much. There is the impulse to break through fears last month. What is being activated here? 11th house is strong, as well as the house of the 7th and 11th. These are houses of desire, and these are houses of the intellect. It's important to cultivate a type of introspection this month in order to ascend. Allow for solar programming. We also have here the position of the stepping stone, which is the Seven of Cups. This is Venus and Scorpio's energy. It has to do with deep introspection, deep, huge, heavy, deep introspection. Now, it's good to think and let the thoughts run out their cycle. I think that will produce a certain type of effect, to sort of receive as opposed to think would be the end result of that. There's going to be an aha moment, but it's not until you get through the confusion of movement that you find the stillness. And it's important to look also to the future here. We have the Five of Pentacles and the Four of Swords in the reverse. Now, the Four of Swords in the reverse is kind of a restless card. So is the Nine of Swords. There is a sense to really kind of bring forward or manifest through the mind, through the intellect, a sense of foundation. There is also a need to sort of figure out where to place your efforts. It's a very ambivalent month, so Libra is kind of in true form. The trick is to look to another, to look to those who are doing that, to look and observe the way they execute through the power of their mind, through the power of their intellect, a manifestation of realities that don't seem to have the grounding. So get grounded this month. It's important to ground in your offers, to ground in your sensibilities, to understand your emotional content as it flows through you, and to ground, find the foundation. The foundation here of the Tower, basically, it leads to this energy of the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is probably the most important reading of this deck, meaning that if there are a world of multiple versions, of different versing's of the same voice, it seems almost arbitrary to choose one thing. Okay, this is the illusion of Maya. Now, the power of Maya is that you can work with it to sort of fabricate. Let's call it fabricate your intelligence. To fabricate your intelligence. To fabricate the world that comes around you that is a product of your interactivity with it. Okay, so it's best to let it. It's best to not overthink and try to manifest. It's best to sort of receive and meet it halfway. It's like having the foresight. If you find the stillness, you will generate the foresight of what things are to potentially come or what things are likely to come. Okay? So this is not a time for materialization. It's a time for reflection. In that confusion, you're going to have a breakthrough. And then there's a chance that you will take action. Look to one person in particular, how they relate to institutions of Maya that are heavily stratified, especially with the way they conduct work. If you're traveling, the way they behave while going through different places on those travels. I think that you're going to have a soul connection in the future, and there's going to be a lot of good conversations because of that, a lot of an active mind. So those conversations will simmer down by the fourth week, and there's a chance for deep reflection this month, okay? And this is a time for fertility and finding foundation, finding the ground. All right, well, that is an interesting reading. Not as dynamic as other months, but I think the messages need to be given the way they have been. And yeah, thank you for following the work and everything. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you next month. Thank you. Bye-bye. Greetings and welcome to my dear Scorpios out there. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I am working here on the YouTube platform to bring a look into the month of April 2025 for the energy of Scorpio. The 8th house is open. We allow for the energy of Mars and Pluto to guide us in terms of delivering messages from the quantum realm. Okay, we'll be using a technique known as the quantum triangle, which are two overlaid triangles of past, present, and future. There's a mode of ascension in the center, and there's a rectification of those two triangles to create a field of resonance, okay? And that's what is likely to happen in terms of a mode of ascension. So this is a spiritual reading for the energy of Scorpio. Take only what you will, and yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see. Okay. This deck is ready. We'll go ahead and get started now. We have a top card, mode of ascension, present moments. We have a bottom card for the first triangle, justice card. In the past position, we have in the forward position the Hierophant, two major arcana, Hierophants in the future position. We have the second triangle here, and that is the 10 of rods, bottom right of the triangle, past position. Over justice, we have the 9 of pentacles. Last card is the Ace of Cups, future position in the reverse. Okay, good. We also have a 7th card, the Stepping Stone, 4 of Swords. Now the 4 of Swords is interesting. It's neither in reverse nor the upright. And the fleur-de-lis is here, which is the center graphic. And this is a very old deck, 1890 deck, very old, 130 years old, plus something like that. And the fleur-de-lis is the flower of life. It's a central symbol for the feminine mysteries, feminine schools of mystery. That includes Isis as well as the Marian school, any Venusian energy. And it is a very watery card, watery. It soothes, and it's also the lily of the Nile, the sort of idea of growth in pollution, growth in dirty places like swamps and rivers. And so with the 4 of Swords, there's 2 swords that are crossed. As you can see, they're bent over. And the 4 is also the 1111. It also is tied to the double Gemini and then Gemini again. So it's not only the twins, but it's a quadratic energy. It's tetric. So it's kind of tetrahedral. It's also based on the the tesseract. So there's this sort of tertiary effect. It's collateral. The energy of this card has to do with side effects or dreams, byproducts of reality, byproducts of Maya. And it also has to do with rest versus unrest, when to take action after a meditative state, okay? So it definitely is a card of patience, taking your time, but also it can be restless if it's not tamed. So that's one of the themes of this month. In terms of ascension, it's important to find a still point before you ascend, for example, or it will have the opposite effect. Instead of expanding or ascending, you will contract. And this month in particular is based on that theme, the idea that you must have some form of sadhana, or a practice of spiritual modality that allows you to find the stillness of mind. That is part of your mode of ascension. It's the foundation of it. Now, in terms of the present moment, what's going on in the mode of ascension is primarily the 10 of rods combined with the 8 of pentacles. Now, when these two cards combine, it's about work that is hard, but then it's an overload of it. And it's like the final straw that breaks the camel's back. It could be easily leading to the 7 of pentacles or the 9 of pentacles. Now, the difference between the 7 and the 9 of pentacles is about practical ways of approaching the modality of work and artha, the ability to produce something and commit to a skill or mastery is going to be heavy. So the trick here is to find something that allows for you to gain the fruits of your labor by focusing intensely on a type of service, okay? By service, I mean something that is between the material realm and the spiritual realm. And your mode of ascension is the ability to do this work, to have the capacity to do this work, to have, let's say in a computer, you have the RAM, which is like a storage, temporary storage capacity. You have that capacity to push it as far as it can go. So this is a very important time to find work that you find the least resistance in. I'll say it again. April of 2025 is auspicious for Scorpio to ascend and finding work that is relevant not only to the material realm but also the spiritual realm, and it leads to the path of least resistance because it's a balance between spiritual and material. Okay, that means that the money or the energy that comes in the form of return in the future would be infused with lightness as opposed to heaviness, okay? And that's one of the tricks about this ascension pathway. Past position, bottom rights of the two bottom rights of the triangle, past position, we have the card of karma, justice, justice plus the 9 of pentacles. Now this is interesting because to get to the 8, you come from the 9, but it comes from a different reality, a different space. And because of that, there is this energy of Venus working in your favor to balance out 2 different states. And you have to sacrifice one of them in order to get to another, one that works. And this sacrifice, it allows for, let's say, a clarity of mind or a guide that comes from another dimension or another higher plane of existence. And it provides you with the justice you need. But at the expense of something. It's like you lose sleep in order to gain dreams, for example. That's one way of looking at it. So I see this as auspicious. It allows you to balance out karmic accounts. It also, the sacrifice in March especially, in the month of March, if you've done like fasting or if you've done some sort of, once again, sadhana, some sort of like, spiritual way of approaching your practice, your work, then it becomes a meditative sacrifice, a conscious sacrifice to put that on the table and then to work again, to try again, to work. So you have to sacrifice in order to gain. You have to lose in order to gain. That's the mystery behind the past position. In the future, we have also the Hermit card plus the Ace of Cups in the reverse. Now, it's going to be a time of solitude. The only two major arcana are Justice and the Hermit in past and future. You're going to be asked to work hard to find something that is between the perfect balance between the material realm and the spiritual, or heaven and earth. Okay, and then you're going to walk a path of solitude in order to purge something. There's something about the heaviness of the material realm that requires purging, and the best way for purging is getting rid of water. How do you do that? You can cry, you can sweat, you can work, you can do inner work, inner engineering, and go through that process to release whatever is overworked. Now, because of this, Mercury is going to help you do this. And Mercury, it rules certain systems within the physiognomy of your body to go ahead and help you do this. This is the purge energy. So like kidneys, stomach, as well as liver. These will help process and purify, let's say, some of the purging that needs to occur. And if you're walking a spiritual path in the later weeks of April, then it's possible that you will need privacy in order to do this. And you can do this by applying yourself to a skill or to a sort of regimen of solitude combined with consciousness. Okay, tapping into the divine, knowing your stepping, knowing your footing, going deeply within, trying to go into hermit mode in order to find what it is, why you're doing that it is. And a lot of it has to do with this idea of purging, Ace of Cups in reverse. It could also indicate a fallout with some people realizing that there are false connections around you and letting that fade away, taking your own path. Okay, that's what I see with it. Hopefully that helps in terms of this month. I do wish you well. Take care now. Bye-bye. Greetings and welcome to my dear Sagittarians out there. Welcome to the channel. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I am working here on YouTube, the YouTube platform, to bring forward a look through the ninth house for Sagittarians out there. This can be any solar Sages, lunar, Martian, etc., ascended Sagittarius. It can be taken from any placement. We are looking through the quantum field for the energy of Sagittarius, quantum field. So basically I'm using a technique known as the quantum triangle. It's been discovered by the Twin Sun to bring forward a mode of ascension. And this mode of ascension basically is a spiritual reading for the month of April 2025 for the energy of Sagittarius. We're going to get started now. The ninth house is open. We also invite Jupiter to go ahead and watch over our reading to help guide, to bring and deliver messages in order to see a mode of ascension for Sagittarius. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's see. Things are going to speed up this month in terms of one particular idea or thought. One thought turns into another. There's a vehicle for that thought or idea. The trick is to align your thoughts with ideas, to find a way to to get an idea firstly through the clarity of mind, through the silence, through dreams, through journaling, through meditations. Receive that idea and then go around it and drive circles around it. One idea. Now, an idea is different from a thought in that it is a gift from the universe. It's something that comes to you. A thought is something that is generative, and thoughts become reality. So the idea is to refine your thoughts so that they align to an idea or an ideal. Okay. We'll go ahead and look now into the quantum field. First triangle, world card in the upper mode. It's the present moment. Upper mode, world card. We have in the past position, 3 of Swords in the reverse. Future, we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Second triangle, we have the Wheel of Fortune. In the present moment past, we have the 5 of Swords in the reverse. We also have in the future 5 of Pentacles in the upright. And also aligning with the mode of ascension is the Ace of Pentacles. Now there's a new beginning here. You're supposed to run through it, run through the cycles. Try to generate and brainstorm around one idea, okay? An idea is a gift from God, a gift from the universe, a gift from your higher ancestry, whatever. It comes, and it could be that last month or the weeks leading up to this month or the first week of April has this energy of processing, healing through a modality and breaking free, a psychological breakthrough I see in the earlier period of this reading. So the 3 of Swords combined with the 5 makes the 8 in reverse, means that there's some sort of breakthrough, okay? This is in the process of thought, healing through thoughts, and being thoughtful enough, okay, to process a way out. And now is the time. The Pentacle here, Ace of Pentacles, is a stepping stone, meaning that you have to sacrifice in order to gain. It's neither in the in the upright, nor is it in the reverse. So in order to gain something, you must first let go. And in order for the sun to rise, it must first set. And basically, it's a time to manifest, let's say, around an idea by being thoughtful about it. So brainstorm, generate those thoughts, and then come to the wheel and the world. So with this, there is something indicated about an eclipse or a moon where you are guided to transform, or there's a transformation agent sort of giving you the subtle force to go ahead and make changes, to go through portals, and to manifest a great deal. So when it comes to this, it's like whatever you sacrifice with intention will come forward towards the wheel. There's a time for really rising up to the occasion and not only using the wheel but going through it. What this means is that if there is an invention, for example, that comes to you, you're supposed to jump through a hoop first, a ring of fire to get the ascension. And it's like even if you were the timing has to do with the eclipse, to eclipse energy, anything that has to do with new moons as well, full moons in terms of a revolution. So it's like the expansion of a moon. There's like a gateway there at the moon that, or if there is an eclipse, it would be the eclipse. There's a gateway there, the timing, you have to jump through that gateway in order to get this ascension, okay? You're protected. I see nothing in terms of negative influences here. But once again, you have to give something in order to gain. And if you it's like one way or another, the darkness or any sort of mystery before, It has to give. One way or another, the darkness has to give. That's a clear message here. Now also, the Ace of Pentacles contributes to the future. It leads to the 5, the 6, or the 4 of Pentacles. So there's a sense of stability and the ability to give off something. There will be a temptation to do so, meaning that whatever you're learning here in terms of a technology or a skill set, a modality for your own healing, your own manifestation, you're going to want to share this technology. At the same time, the Ace of Swords in the reverse does show up. You can only show it to one person. Whatever thing that you're learning in terms of this modality to rise to power, okay, through a mode of sacrifice, okay, you're supposed to pass this on. At the same time, you can hold on to it, but you have to be selective into who you would pass it on to, okay? So that's what I see with this reading. It's a pretty charged reading, and it's pretty clear. I think it's a positive reading for the energy of Sagittarius. I do wish you well. Thank you. Bye-bye. Greetings and welcome to my dear Capricorns out there. Welcome to the channel. This is Ron from tarotofthetwinsun. I am working here on the YouTube platform to bring forward a prognosis, a look into a mode of ascension. It's a spiritual reading for the energy of Capricorn. Welcome Capricorns, especially solar Capricorns, ascendant moon, etc. You can use any placement for this reading. This is a spiritual reading, so it's going to take the auspices of Saturn, the merits of Saturn, which is discipline and time, patience. And we're going to look at a modality of two fields of resonance, and then a third will emerge. Two modes of past, present, future. And in the present, there's a pathway of ascension. That's one triangle, and then another. And basically, messages will come hopefully through the ninth house, and it will be showing a path of dharma or karma. When it comes to Capricorn's energy, there's a tendency towards the generation of karma in the 10th house, but usually it's a collective thing, meaning that your karma directly is entwined with another, okay? Meaning that your karma on a quantum level especially is entangled with the idea of another or collective others, and then it produces an effect, okay? Whether positive or negative, it really depends on the relative nature of individual karmas. That includes your own or others. So we'll look at this and we'll see a mode of ascension, hopefully, that could resonate for you in terms of predictions for the month of April 2025. Let's go ahead and get started. We have here in the present moment, first triangle, 8 of Pentacles. In the past, we have the High Priestess. Future, we have the Knight of Rods. And in the second triangle, the second time and space, we have the 9 of Swords in the reverse. This is the Ascendant mode here, these two cards. We also have the past, the Page of Pentacles, or rather, Knight of Pentacles here. Knight of Pentacles. We also have the 5 of Cups in the future position. Also in the mode of ascension, we have an additional card that's kind of like a stepping stone, the 9 of Pentacles. Now, the 9 of Pentacles is a Venusian card. It has to do with the second house, and it has to do with Venus's energy, Taurian energy. So this is beauty or image that can be misconstrued. So don't let the world of vanity hold you back from making the material connection and the sublimation of those material connections into the metaphysical or the spiritual, okay? So there is a responsibility, let's say, to use what could be considered to be vain, that is image, money, possessions, and to convert those things into essentially divine, okay? I mean, everything is divine, but the more they come into their own realization that they are of the light, that they are gifts especially from the divine feminine, okay? Any deity that is related to materialization, for example, any female deity. Um, these are gifts, and it could be a gift or it could be a hindrance in terms of your own practice in trying to attain ascension. Okay. Now we have here in the mode of ascension the Eight of Pentacles. So if you take the 9 from the 8, it becomes 1 or -1. Okay. So that's 1. At the same time, it could be taking, let's see, it would be 8. Yeah, it would be like -1, or there's a difference of 1 pentacle, right? So basically, that is indicative of some sort of letting go. Now, it could be that in the present moment of whatever day you happen to see this forecast, or in some present moment in the timeline of April, there will be a need to sacrifice one of your things of vanity. It could be like loaded with a dark algorithm, or it could be sort of like not resonant with your possessions. One of these has to be purged in order to break through a cycle of fear. Okay, so there will be a breakthrough if you give away something in terms of sadhaka, or in terms of the idea of sannyasa. If you give something back to the universe, or you donate something, you sell something, but then convert that money into something positive, like taking that money and then giving it to like an organization, or to some sort of like religious organization that will help convert it into aid for the poor or something like that. This mode of sacrifice is auspicious for what works for you. Check in to see what actually does work for you. Try to focus in on a message that comes from this idea of sacrifice. And it doesn't have to be a huge sacrifice. It could be also something metaphysical, not so material. Like, for example, eating, and then like sort of like fasting 1 day out of 7. That would be like a sacrifice. Okay. The sacrifice of your physical body, let's say, or the growth of your physical body, in order to gain a sense of concentration. Okay. And then your concentration power will increase, and then fear will dissipate. This is a mode of ascension I'm seeing here. Now, in the past, the only major arcana that shows up here is the High Priestess. There also is the another Venusian card of Pentacles. That's another Taurian energy. Now Pisces as well as Taurus is accentuated in the past position, and those are both divine feminine energies. They're Venusian. At the same time, the Moon and Neptune does influence the sort of flow of this reading. We have the Knight of Pentacles adding to this one, which is the 10. So it could be that there's a commitment that you need to let go of. And it could be that you also foresee this happening. If that's the case, then your exit out of that would be to focus on yourself and your work, and focus on a craft of some sort that will like allow you to process over any grief or fear or cyclical thinking. Okay, High Priestess is here, so that means that there is a code that has been given to you either in the eclipse season of last month, or during the full moon. And that essentially gives you the energy to push forward. Also, new moons in the beginning of the month, or a full moon. Something about the moon cycle will be very important in foreshadowing and also forecasting what happens in the future. So the future and the past are often mirrors. In the future position, we have the 5 of Cups, as well the Knight of Rods, which allows you to sort of be idealistic. There is likely a sort of like connection with the past, where you might feel like you are called to go back to it. There's a connection, and it could be through family, or an old flame, an old lover. These are all potentials. You will be drawn back there. And it will be something like I would say it's something like a memory that draws you back to a way of doing things in the past. You're still going towards the future, but then you're called to figure out why this is cropping up, why there's in the later weeks of April, let's say, why there's this like energy where you have to go back and then heal up on an old wound or an old relationship or something that's like needing of purification. So that's also like something of a future narrative for ascension. You can help someone, either a version of yourself or literally someone who needs your assistance. Could be a friend, family member, or a lover, an old lover. Taking care of that would be good karma on your behalf. It would make you look good, and it will give you like this gravity. So that's what I see with it. It's a pretty interesting reading for my dear Capricorns out there. Hopefully that helps a little bit. If you need to look more into any private readings, you can go ahead and contact me. Otherwise, wishing you well. Take care now. Bye-bye.